I'm getting ready to feed our very thirsty passion fruit with the water from our huge cube here, we call it, our angelfish tank. So stick with me and I'm gonna go ahead and get that going. I just realized I left the music for the shop on, which is probably very annoying. So I'm gonna quickly shut. Okay, great. Hopefully I didn't lose too many of you. All right, so it's really simple. We feed all of the plants in the entire shop with water from our various freshwater fish tanks. This one is filled with angelfish that were born here at the shop in one clutch. So they're actually all brothers and sisters. This tank is also set up on a flood and drain system where it floods every 5 minutes and fills this flood table up here with water, which feeds these plants with all the food from the fish waste. And then the plants in turn help to clean the water and put it back down into the tank. So kind of a really cool setup. But in addition, I'm gonna do a 30% water change, so about down to here. And I'm gonna pump the water out with this submersible pump. I've dropped it in here, but I can show you what it looks like. It's just a submersible pump that I've dropped in. So I'm gonna turn this on and then I'll show you I've got a hose running. Whoop, boop, 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 and we're gonna go feed those passion fruit over there. And then when I'm done doing that, I'll obviously be 30% light on the water for my tank. So I'll refill it with RO water that we have in a separate 55-gallon drum. So, all right, let's see. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and plug this bad boy in. Actually, I'm gonna very quickly make sure that my hose is off. I've made that mistake before. It starts to pump right away and then you're in trouble, which is not what you want. You want to make sure you're pumping into your plant. Let me see. Let's see. Sorry, I just gotta. Oh shoot. What's wrong with these? Oh boy. Sorry, I'm gonna unplug that for a second. All right, there we go. Okay, so let me put my hand on this. Yep, I can feel that the pump is running. These pumps, if they get air in them, they will be a little bit, they'll be a little bit tricky to get going sometimes. So I'll make sure there's no air in the line. One other thing I wanted to mention, the water, you can tell it's clear, but it looks really brown. And the reason that is because there's high tannins in that water. We put some logs and leaf litter and whatnot directly from our yard into that tank to help with the biodiversity of the tank and to give the fish places to hide. And so for that reason, there's some tannins in there from some of that dirt and whatnot, but it's actually super healthy. So here's one of our passion fruit. Here's the line from the system. I'm just gonna open it up and then hopefully, sometimes it takes a second to get it going. If there's air on the line, these pumps can make you think they're not working. Oh, let's see. Oh, yes. Once they kind of get going, they usually are happier. Okay, so as you can see, this is just blasting water out. And as a reminder, it's coming. I'm gonna hook it on the kind of frame here. As a reminder, it is coming from, I shut the light off so it looks extra dark, that angelfish cube there. And as I said, I'm gonna get rid of about 30% of the water between this passion fruit and the other passion fruit that we have. We have 3 others, actually 4 others that I'll water with the same water, so that's good. So I'm gonna quickly look at the comments. AM asked if that's an aquaponics system. It is. So the angelfish tank behind me we have a filter on it as well for redundancy, just in case, if anything were to happen to the plants above or whatnot, we wouldn't want the fish not to get the filtration. But the water pumps up every 5 minutes from the tank below up into the flood table above. Oops, sorry, I'm doing a little bit backwards. And then the pump shuts off and the water's drained. And then exactly at that point, it's cleaning the water. And then that's the only way those plants are fed. Hello to everyone else who's commenting. All right, let's see. So, oh, looks like we are blasting water here. So I think we're actually okay. I'm already getting a good amount of drainage. So I usually just water this guy until I see water come through. And since I'm right here, I'm actually gonna water this fig as well. This fig is in a pot called a Rain Science pot. It's like a fabric pot, but it's made out of a mesh plastic. But it works similar in the sense that the fig tree will get air pruning. So the roots will never do a root ball. And so again, this is just getting water fed directly from that giant fish tank. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we'll refill the fish tank with fresh RO water. So the fish are getting kind of a nice extra clean water boost, while the plants are very happy to get, you know, just this nitrogen rich, you know, used fish tank water that's just filled with all of the fish droppings that have fertilized it. And we have only freshwater fish in the shop because every single tank we use to feed and water all the plants. So every plant in the shop is used, it gets fed with fish tank water. So we obviously can't have any saltwater tanks, or that would make it a little bit tricky. All right. And I'm gonna water this fig until I start to see a little bit of a runoff coming through as well. And then I'll slide her out of the way and we'll do the rest of the passion fruit. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, AM. My husband and I own and run garden shop in Massachusetts, and it is our home away from home. And the whole idea is that if you come here, you're visiting our second home. So I'm glad it feels like a place that you could live, because it definitely, we want it to feel like that you're here to be part of our family. All right, I just started to get some runoff in the bottom of this fig, so we'll let that guy continue to drain. I'm gonna slide him out of the way. And then we'll go ahead and water. Let me see if I can reach here. Yep, okay. Gonna water this. I don't know if you guys can see this kind of huge passion fruit that we have going. Passion fruit are my favorite fruit, but as many of you probably know, they're very expensive because they are a tropical plant that is not native to this area. You know what, I'm gonna have to change where this pump is going in so that I can reach. So I'll bring you guys back to the tank. Whoop. I think what I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna put you guys back so you can see the fish. I just shut their light off, so it's extra hard to see them, which isn't the best. Let me see if I can plug their light in, hold on. There we go. And again, the water is really tanniny just because we get this, we have a lot of wood and oh, there's a huge pleco that just swam by. We get a lot of the wood and whatnot from our yard actually. So there's a lot of tannins in it, but you can see it's clear. It's just kind of got a brownness to it. All right. So what I'm gonna do, because I realized I grabbed a pump with a hose that's a little bit short. I'm actually gonna move the pump. No, I'm gonna move, the barrel that I have on wheels, and I'm gonna fill this barrel up with the water, and then I can move the barrel wherever I want. All right, so this is a 55, hey there, just a dude. This is a 55-gallon drum, super handy to have. And I'm gonna fill this with the water from the angelfish tank, and then I'll wheel it over and feed the plants with it. So we'll just do it kind of in two parts, which should be pretty easy peasy. Dump this back down, put this on here so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Let me go grab the end of this. All right. are being very patient. Thank you. All right, how often do I switch out the wood to refresh the amount of tannins? I don't actually. My favorite thing is when the woods start to grow, you know, algae on them and, you know, get some cool mosses going and kind of all of that stuff I think is really beneficial. Not to mention the microbes and whatnot that inevitably are probably living in the cracks, as well as the fish that have created homes in there. However, you can add in, you know, new particulates on the bottom or leaf matter or whatnot if you wanted to. The other reason this tank is a little bit dark, and here all the angelfish are coming up, is because we have biochar on the bottom, which is acting as a secondary filter, but also it adds a little bit of a dark color. So that's definitely happening too. But you can see there's some really big log pieces in here that are from our yard. This actually stick here is out. We burned half of it so that it would be some activated biochar for them. But yes, they all seem very happy. I'm gonna see if I can lock this into place, and then I'm gonna grab some fish food for these guys because they are loving the attention and they would like me to feed them. Whoop. Let's see if I can get this to stay. It's like, nope, I will never stay. All right, whoop, maybe this guy. Okay. Everything is tightening, nothing is staying. All right. Okay. Sorry, you guys, this is being terrible. All right. Okay. Maybe I'll just do it like that. I'm gonna back it up. Sorry, my tripod is being the worst. Now you guys can kind of see. So I've got the pump in the corner, and then it's flowing directly into this 55-gallon drum. No, it's not that noisy. It is pretty quiet. Someone's calling the shop. Hold on, guys. Thanks for calling Garden. This is Mandy. Hello? Well, whoever it was, they hung up. Sorry, you guys. I'm the only one in the store today, and I really wanted to do this water change. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. But I might have a customer call. It could happen. All right, I'm going to grab the food for the angelfish. Give me just 1 second. I just put it down. All right, I'm back. Some of it might get sucked up, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. But yeah, these submersible pumps really aren't noise at all, which is great. These guys get a couple scoops, and they're gonna go crazy for this. Get you guys in here so you can see it. Whoop. There's everybody eating. And I know we'll lose some of that food to the pump, but that's okay. It's worth it to get to see them eat. It's kind of nice to see how happy they get for that. And let's make sure our tank is filling well. Yeah, everything is filling. So again, it's going from that pump into the barrel here. And then we're gonna wheel this barrel over and feed a bunch of the plants in the shop. And actually, while I'm here, I think what I'll do is I'll show you guys. So let me just show you really quick. So we've got up here are all of our plants that we're propagating, and they're in pots of biochar, net pots, and they flood every couple of minutes, and then they drain so the roots get some air, and they're all being fed with the fish tank water, and they have the LED lights on above them. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have a secondary filter just for redundancy. We did have an aquaponics system years ago where we got a disease in the plants, and while the shop was closed for 2 days, a bunch of the plants died, which then they were not only no longer filtering, but they were releasing their own levels of decay and whatnot that were going to the tank, and it made the tank really unhealthy. So because we're closed for 2 days a week, just to be extra safe, we run a filter while also running the aquaponics system. So it's kind of a hybrid. All right, so pretty good there. I think we're getting close to having enough water. Let's see, this is still running well. And then I'll show you the passion fruit while we're just waiting for that to finish filling. I'll show you the passion fruit that we're gonna, hey Sean, that we're gonna be feeding. Sean, I'm watering the passion fruit, my favorite plants. Sean's a customer of ours. Oops. So these are my passion fruit vines. They occasionally give me fruit. And they are, you can see, I like it when they have a little bit of water on the bottom, just because they're a tropical plant. They like to be moist. So anytime it's dry like this, I know they're kind of due for a feeding. So we've got a couple different varieties. These two are the same. And then you can see this one has much larger leaves than this one. And then the one that we watered first over there is a much thinner leaf behind the fig, that one right there. This is another ebb and flow table we have that floods with from a flood basin, a flood reservoir below that we're growing plants on. All right. All right, let's see how this is doing. All right, pretty good. We like this. Let me swap it so you guys can see. So pretty good, and I'm gonna do about 30% so you can kind of see where the water was. It looks like it was here, but that was actually a few weeks ago. It was about here where the duckweed is. So I'm gonna let it go a good amount down and fill into this bin here. We purposely put duckweed into our tanks because the algae eater in here loves them. And there's actually 3 big plecostomus or plecos in there. And so we love having it, and it serves as little floating plant filtrations. However, it is very aggressive and can quickly overwhelm a tank. So a lot of people don't like it. And if you do have a tank where something isn't eating it, like it's great for like a turtle tank or something too, they'll come up and eat it. If you have a tank where something's not eating these little plants on top, the duckweed, you can also just scoop it out regularly so that it doesn't overwhelm the top of the tank. Oh, thanks, Sean. Sean said we've got a lot going on. We do have a lot going on. So my husband and I run the shop, and then also are starting to do these live streams and kind of share with everybody, you know, what we're up to. So we're having a blast. Thank you for always supporting us, Sean. Anything else you guys want to see in the shop? I'm happy to walk you around. It's going to be a few more minutes of this tank kind of going down. So I'm happy to share into the rest of the shop. That's interesting. I can show you kind of where we've got our plants that are not on flood and drain systems. Whoop. Sorry, I'm moving a tripod. So this is also, we're in Braintree, Massachusetts. And you can see we've got other discus tanks with aquaponic systems above. And these are all of our house plants that are for sale. This is one of my favorite aquaponics setup. We just did a video on how we built this with a bunch of, I think there's 5 discus in there, and it feeds the plants up above. Oh, you saw so Sean just wrote saw penguin, roadrunner, and brownie batter. Those are 3 of our chickens. We also sell our farm fresh eggs here. You guys check out this aloe. All of this aloe is from one mother aloe plant. You did great, Sean. I can't believe you remembered all those. That we just literally just kept splitting and repropagating, like the world's healthiest aloe plant. And oh gosh, also, oh, thanks, Sam. Check out this Monstera. Like, she's just so happy. I love their leaves. So shiny. We got some really cool Rojo Congos as well. which are these guys here. I just love them, type of philodendron. All right, let's go check back and see if we're done pumping out the tank. The danger of walking away is you can forget, and we have flooded over this barrel many times. So it's good to kind of set a little timer. All right, I think that's pretty good. We got down a good amount. Got a good amount filled in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. Whoop. And is that a little bit tilted? Yeah, a little bit. Well, what are you gonna do? And I'm gonna unplug. Whoop. I'm gonna unplug this. What am I trying to do? Okay, this guy is coming out. That's the pump. Put the timer back on. The light. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna take the pump now, put it in this bin, and then we're gonna push. Whoop, let me switch it back to me. Okay, we're gonna push this bin over to where the passion fruit are, so stick with me. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave you guys where the passion fruit are that we're gonna water, and then I'm gonna run back and get that 55-gallon drum, and then we'll water these bad boys together. Oh, you know what? I'll leave you next to the fish while I quickly go get that bin, so you have something pretty to look at. All right, I'll be right back. Make it so you guys can see them really well. Okay, I'm just grabbing the bin. I have not left you. All right, guys, run it. All right. Woo! We made it. Everybody stay with us? Okay, good. Hey, guys. All right. So, I've got, ooh, it's like wiggly. Sorry about that. I've got our fish tank water in our 55-gallon drum. I'm gonna plug this in here, and then we'll go ahead and get pumping. All right. All right, let me see. All right. Okay, we got some juice. Oops, sorry guys. So I just plugged that in. Whoop. Hey, if you just started joining us. All right. Nice. Here we go. So now this is like so simple. We've got these passion fruit in these epic giant pots. So they just take a ton of water. And hand watering them would just literally take forever. So I'm gonna show you how we just I'm gonna put you into the passion fruit here, I think is the way to do it. Okay. And then we'll see if we can, whoop, make this thing not such a disaster. Okay, there we go. I think this is gonna be good. Sorry guys. Okay, let's see. Yeah, and then now I'm just gonna literally, here, you know what, I'm gonna take you guys out of the tripod. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna literally water this. Yeah, I'm gonna take you guys out. This is annoying. Let me get you out of here. Boop. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. So we have them in these huge 50-gallon pots. So you can see and these plants are multiple years old. And then we're just pumping the water from the from the fish tanks directly in. Oh, you can see that one of the flood and drain tables just turned on as well. And then while that is going, I'll just show you how massive these passion fruit. I'll really give you kind of the scope. When you first walk into the shop, this is the front door of the shop. You can kind of see these huge plants, and they're so beautiful, and they're vining into the ceiling, which is fine. I'm not gonna do great up there. There's no light in there, but you know, not a big deal. And so I'll let that, I water these guys once a week, and I water until there's water at the bottom. They're in fabric pots to prevent root balling, and they will wick the water up that's in the tray for the rest of the week. So they kind of, you know, get to continue to drink for free from whatever gets put into the tray. And you can see the tray is starting to fill, which is great. Thanks, Sean, for giving our address. And I'm glad, AM, you heard before when I said where we were. I hope you're able to visit us one day. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, that's the gist of it. Unless you have any questions, I'll let you all go or want to see anything else at the shop. I'm going to finish doing each one of these passion fruits with this, you know, this big 55-gallon drum of fresh fish water packed with microbes, you know, as fresh as it gets. You can buy bottled fish, fish water and fish excrement, but just by design, the microbes that are anaerobic will start to take over the microbes that are aerobic. Aerobic microbes need air. So when you're able to do it, when you're able to go right from the tank to the plant, aerobic microbes are still alive, so you're getting the benefits of those as well. Do you dose like a good portion of, chelated iron in that water every few days? We don't. We just monitor the pH, the temp, and the dissolved solids, or the EDS, and we use RO water to help us keep the water relatively soft, to keep those, the TDS low, because discus fish especially, and since that's what we mainly have, need a softer water, around like 100 to 150 is their favorite. But they can tolerate slightly higher. And if you do give them like a treatment, like a metronidazole treatment, you'll see those jump, and they can tolerate that for a little bit, but then they want that water to be soft again. So great question. So I'll let you guys go. You all are the best. Thank you so much for joining me. Like and subscribe to get other gardening tips and see how we run the shop here in Massachusetts. Bye, everybody.